Welcome back. Now at this point, we can create cards. So as you've seen, we can create cards, which are then also created inside of a board, of course, which is inside of the task list of that board. Okay, now let's go ahead and display that. And therefore, we of course will need another adapter. Because if we look at it, this here is where we want to display the cards, and they should be in a list pretty much. So we need the recycler view with a adapter, and we already have the recycler view in our item task here. So this one here, you can see we have a recycler view called RV card list, and now we need to give it an adapter, and therefore we will need to create a new adapter here for. So I'm going to call this one card list items adapter. Pretty long but descriptive name. So let's go over to our adapters here and create another one. You can see we have already multiple ones here. Create new, and it's a Kotlin Java class, and card list items adapter. I hope that was written correctly. And because we have created so many adapters before, I think it makes sense to just go over this real quick, because it's always the same code pretty much, right? So we have a constructor here where we pass in the context and the list. This time it's an array list of cards. Then we inherit from the recycler view adapter. Then we have a private var onClick listener. If we want to be able to click on one of those card elements or of those list elements, in our case we want to do that because we want to then edit the card later on. So for example, if we want to assign a person to that card, or if we want to change the color of that card or the due date, then we want to be able to click on the card in order to get to the screen where we can make changes. Then we will need an item card XML file. So we will need to create a little layout for that. This will be our onCreate view holder, and in onBind view holder we will have a very simple code here. As you can see, we just have this model. If the holder is my view holder, then it will use this TV card name text, which we still need to create, where we then want to put in the name of the card. That's pretty much it. So then get item count, as always, set onClick listener as well as the onClick listener interface and the class my view holder, which we have used multiple times before. All right, so now what is left is of course to create the UI elements. So let's go ahead and create a new XML file in our resources here. So new layout, and I'm going to call this one item underscore card. Okay, so let's create it. Then let's go over to the code. Now, what do we want to do here? Well, it's just a card view which has a name in it. That's pretty much it. Very, very basic, not too much stuff. Maybe a line in there and some more text depending on what we want to display. So I'm just gonna paste that in here and show you what it's all about, because we have worked with XML so many times already. So you can see this is really just repetition. You could have tried to build all of that yourself, of course. So I'm using a card view here. We will need some more dimensions, so let's add those directly so that the errors disappear and we can then look at it in the editor. So here, let's go to values and add a bunch of new dimensions. So item card content margin, CV elevation, which is the card view elevation, label height, text padding, and so forth. Okay, now we can go over to our item card. Now the errors should disappear. So basically we have a card view, right, with a little bit of elevation. The orientation is vertical. It has a certain margin, a selectable item background, and then inside of that we have a linear layout with a view, which is just a line, and then you can see it's the color accent here. This is the blue line, so to speak. Then we have text views, so two of them. One is for the card name and then for the member's name. So if we later on add some more, or once we add some more people to it, we will also see that there are multiple people assigned to that card. Okay, so that is what we decide or design here. All right, so that's the member's name. Okay, so this is the UI that we will use. We have created the adapter. Now we need to make sure that the names are correct here. TV underscore card name. Now that accepts it this time. The item card layout is fine for that as well. All right, and now of course we need to go to our task list adapter, because that's where we load the cards, or we need to load the cards. And where would we do that? Well, I'd say we load it inside of our function onBindViewHolder. All right, so here once we bind it, we have this huge function where we have all of this code, right? And then at the very bottom, just outside this last holder item view IB done set on click listener, here we can go ahead and prepare our next item view. So item view dot rv underscore card list dot layout manager. So what is this RV card list? Well, it's this one here, right? So this card list that we have in our item task. And here the layout manager should be a linear layout manager, which needs a context as well. So here, let's add a context. All right, so that's our linear layout manager. So we prepared it. We make a linear layout manager of it. Then I'm gonna fix the size. So holder item view dot rv card list dot set has fixed size to true, and then we can assign the adapter. So basically the same stuff that we have done multiple times when we work with adapters, and I think we have done it here somewhere at the top as well. Actually, that was in the other class, but here we can now go ahead and say val adapter is the card list items adapter. Here we need to pass in the context and the model that we want to use, which is in this case, of course, our model.cards. Okay, so we want to pass in the cards, and then we can assign that adapter to our RV card list. All right, so let's just do that. Dot adapter is going to be the adapter that we prepared. All right, so now our adapter is ready. Our RV card list is ready, and let's see if it actually works and displays everything as we expected. All right, so that we have our beautiful Projet Manage. There we are. And let's wait for the boards to load. Now let's go to board with image, and we can see card 1 is there. Now let's go ahead and create another card. So here card 2, and card 2 is there as well. Now let's create card 3. Perfect. Okay, so now you can see how we can create cards. Of course, we cannot drag them yet. This is a super cool feature that we want to have. Then we cannot open them yet, but we will be able to later on click on them and then make changes to that card. For example, assign a user, then assign a date, so a due date, and so forth. All right, so that's it for this video. See you in the next one.